It's been a tradition in this gymnasium for just over 50 years. Jefferson basketball is still on amidst the pandemic in this 2021 winter sports season. It's girls' night here at Jefferson High School, the Battle of B-Town. Kennedy and Jefferson right here on BEC-TV. Along with our crew, Alex Redding, alongside Daniel Tremmel. And there we are, sitting in the bleachers, of course, socially distanced from the crowd. Hello, everybody. Now, Daniel, when you look at this game, we look back over the past few games that Jefferson and Kennedy have played, especially Jefferson. They're way more improved this season compared to the last few, and especially when it comes to that size. Kind of talk about that. That's been huge for Jefferson this year in so many great ways.
Yeah, for sure. As you look at this Jefferson team, you don't see much of that size factor they've had in these previous seasons, but what this Jefferson team can do is they can go out and run. They can go run on those fast breaks. They grab the rebound, they just sprint, they turn on the jets. And what really helps this Jefferson team is with size may come a decreased chance of that outside shot, and this Jefferson team can shoot the lights out when they're hot, Alex.
Most certainly. Kind of talk about Harrison Chappell. She's been a huge player for Jefferson down in the paint. Kind of talk about her start to the season.
Yeah, Angelina Chappell actually, she's done a really good job this year controlling the middle of the paint. The Jefferson team, you'll see a lot of 4 wide where they have 4 people outside the arc, and you have Angelina down in the middle. I have yet to see her miss when she's at least 7 feet away from the rim or in the restricted area. She gets all the boards, and she gets all the second chance buckets for Jefferson.
It's going to be one of our keys to the game tonight. Now, moving to the other side of the basketball court, Daniel, we look at Kennedy, and there's one bright shining star amidst all the bright shining stars on that side of the court, and for me, that's Ashley Burchett. Kind of talk about her. She was a very dynamic player. We got to see a lot of her last year, and just her scoring ability. Kind of talk about what she can bring to the table for Kennedy tonight.
Oh, I didn't think it was her. I thought it was Curry you were referencing, but no, they both have. Burchett has had an amazing season so far. I'm going to watch her primarily on this Kennedy team as they build their offense around her, and we'll see what she can get done tonight versus Jefferson, who just came off a big win.
Most certainly, and 90-plus points scored against South St. Paul in Jefferson's last game. We're going to throw it down to the house announcer for the national anthem and the starting lineups right here on BEC-TV.
Sportsmanship is built on respect for all referees, athletes, coaches, fans, and the national anthem. Your whole operation is expected and appreciated. Whatever school you cheer for, please be a good sport. Thank you. Perfect. The horn's going to go off. Don't jump. Fans, just some COVID-19 reminders before we begin today's game. Spectators must be masked and are expected to sit on the marked spots in the bleachers. Spectators must sit 6 feet apart from one another unless sitting as a family and 12 feet from the court. At the end of your game, please exit the gym immediately. Please do not come down to the court level. When you exit, please exit on that side. It's the south side. It's the one that says home of the Jaguars. Please do your part to keep everyone healthy and safe and help keep the team playing this season. We please ask you to rise, ladies and gentlemen, for the playing of our national anthem, and I hope I do it right. Number 33, Caroline Neiman. Elementary education and psychology. And senior number 30, Hannah Peters. Hannah plays both basketball and softball. Her favorite basketball memories are the trips to Duluth and game days. Her plans are to attend college in the fall.
Well, there you have it, the starting lineups in the national anthem right here at Jefferson High School. And glad you could be with us on this very entertaining Thursday night for basketball. Alex Redding alongside Daniel Trummel and our crew, bringing you the girls' edition of the Battle of B-Town. And tonight, we kind of alluded to in our pregame monologue some of our keys to the game, or one of them at least. Now, let's talk about those keys to the game, Daniel. Our first one is clean-up baskets. And we talked about Angelina Chappell's ability to control the paint for Jefferson, and that's really huge for them on that front.
Yeah, the second chance baskets tonight will be a huge spot on this box score, as whoever takes the advantage of that may very well win this game, Alex, as both teams, both speedy on the outside. So we'll see who can clean up the baskets.
Second key to the game is creating lanes, and that's something that Ashley Burchett does so well for Kennedy. On Kennedy's offensive possessions, we saw her do a ton of that last year. That's how she got a lot of her points, in fact, as Kennedy will start with the ball to begin this game. And our last key to the game is perimeter defense. Now, we know Jefferson, and here's a good three. That one's off the mark. It's a good-looking shot, and Jefferson will get the rebound.
Yeah, as you
so
can see.
So their perimeter defense right off the bat coming into play.
Yeah, as you can see, Alex, they're setting up in that 2-3 defense already, Jefferson, as they really can swarm, and they're really fast on the defensive side. I would not be
and that one banks off the board and off the rim. That shot is no good for Jefferson's number 14, Emily Roach, one of the captains on this Jefferson Jaguar girls squad this year.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna be surprised if we don't see a press defense here by Jefferson early.
And they're doing a good job right now trying to contest that perimeter again, going back to one of the keys to the game, trying to get around Chappell and gets the travel. So already that size that Chappell's presenting down low is creating a lot of havoc for Kennedy, and right there it was against number 22, Malia Shaw.
Yeah, Chappell just right in there. As you can see, Kennedy now in that 2-3 as well. You're going to see Chappell right down inside that top of the key free throw line-ish, as missed by Peters there. But there you go. There's a cleanup basket opportunity right there. But you're going to see Chappell a lot of times, and same with Shaw at the free throw line in this 2-3 defense, as it looks like both teams will be running that perimeter defense.
Sounds like it. That 2-3 zone is designed to take away the middle. And here's another perimeter shot. That one's off the mark. And here's Roach with it. Here comes Jefferson on the fast break. And for three. Got it! Caroline Heeman with the first bucket of the game. And it is a big three for Jefferson from downtown.
Good find from the point guard, Emily Roach, there to dribble in, draw the pressure, and kick it out to her shooter. There's shooters everywhere for Jefferson.
Oh, but look out. Kennedy can do some of that too. Number 12, Isabel Miller, can get hot from three, as she just did on that last play.
Yeah, both teams creating lanes and kicking them out for the perimeter shots. That's going to be huge for both teams.
You can already see two of our three keys to the game come into play right off the bat in this one. Chappell smartly swats it away to her teammate. Here's Roach from the key. Yeah, she gets this one too.
What a fun game that we're about to report, Alex. 3 threes in a row from both teams.
Well, what goes around comes around. Trying to post up, and that time didn't quite work out. And settling it down was Heeman, and here comes Burchett with the ball. Nice moves, gives it away. Uh-oh, another three. That one's off the mark. That was a pretty good looking shot, though, from Isabel Miller out of play. Jefferson basketball, as we take a look here on the replay. I mean, there's so many opportunities for three. I mean, you just got to take them when they're that wide open.
Exactly, and the 2 threes presented to where you want the other team to shoot the outside shot. And they always say you live or die from the threes. You see 3-2 switch here for Kennedy to try to get it inside.
Nice intercept. Here's Burchett up the floor, splitting the D. And she's going to draw a foul going in. As we take a look at the replay here, this is exactly the position you want to be in if you're Kennedy. And try and get Jefferson to commit to those fouls down low. Very crafty with the footwork as well. I mean, that's a lot of where this sport exists as well, Daniel. It's in the feet. And if there's anybody who can put on a clinic, it's her, Ashley Burchett, at the free throw line. Off the mark on her first attempt. And if Burchett makes this second free throw attempt, it will be the first non-3 bucket of the night. And it will be.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more free throws in this Bloomington battle, Alex. It's a physical game every time these two teams see each other.
That's how you got to play it. Uh-oh, again, wide open, off the mark. Rachel Hall missed the last shot for Jefferson. Here's Burchett charging. And they get the rebound. Burchett again from 3, off the mark once more. Look at the rebounding attempts by Kennedy. This ball is out of bounds. Hustling after it was number 25, Kelly Kopka for Kennedy.
Yeah, questionable call there, right there. Big drive by Burchett. It looked like she got almost thrown to the basket, not so much the ball, but for Jefferson, or for Kennedy, excuse me, you have to stay physical, as it's going to be a very outside shooting type of game this entire time.
And Burchett is definitely smart, trying to take it inside. And sometimes it's not just about shooting a 3, it's about just getting the basket, period. And definitely has the right idea, Ashley Burchett.
I don't even think she was trying to get the basket. It was almost just trying to get
or draw the foul at
exactly.
least. I mean, as a player, you always want to try and get the basket, but if you can draw the foul, that's great. Oh, hard collision there, and that's a oh, wait a minute.
They're going to call it a charge play right here.
I was going to say, yeah, that's a little bit too hard. Ashley Burchett called with a charge, and that's going to be a turnover. And Emily Roach is really badly shaken up.
Yeah, thankfully she got up pretty fast. And her dad, the coach, Paul Roach, was over there immediately, shows the great coaching right there for all the teammates on Jefferson.
So following the charge, it's now Jefferson's turn to see if they can convert this into points. Nice job to break it up, and that's Kopka on the far side.
Jefferson needs to figure out how to solve this 3-2 zone. Each possession they face this zone, they have turned it over, and they need to get a basket right here.
Uh-oh, that's one of the ways you can defeat it, and that's right there. Going to be a foul on Kopka.
With zone defense, there's always going to be holes. This is a good find from Clay down to Feld, down inside the paint, and you need to find those holes on the offensive side for sure.
Especially against this 2-3 zone. That's one of the weak spots of the 2-3 zone along that baseline. Here's a free-for-all, and that one's tracked down nicely by Emma Felt, number 1 in the Columbia blue and white for Jefferson. From the corner, Heeman. Oh, it's out of there. Not good for 3. Here comes Burchett the other way. Tosses it. Big 3 on the way. No good.
That's Miller's third 3, and she's just going to keep on shooting those. They will start to fall.
Pass into Chappell. Turns around, not a friendly rim on that last shot attempt, and we're going to get a foul there. Little hand check.
Yeah, it would have been a very, very sick shot there by Chappell. Just a little 180 twisty turnaround shot right there. That would have been a very good shot.
It's also kind of in an awkward position, though.
Exactly. And here's Jefferson with the full court press.
And this one grabbed by Miller. Now Kopka has it.
Looks like Jefferson's back to man-to-man.
And we're going to get a blocking foul on that last play. I like where Kennedy's going with the paint strategy.
For sure, drawing in fouls. You got Jefferson already with 3 fouls so far.
Here's Kopka from the corner, and she drills it. Kelly Kopka It's going to record her first points of the night.
The second three for Kennedy already. It's going to be a very fast-paced game.
Into Chapel, gets the bounce, and it will go for Jefferson. They have the lead back, 8-7.
Automatic from inside the restricted area, Angelina Chapel.
The feed, post up, no good. Heeman with the rebound, as Malia Shaw could not put that last one in for Kennedy. Felt heaves it across the court. Here's a drive, and that one's way off, but Heeman with the offensive rebound. From the key, got the friendly bounce. Simone Clay with a great looking circus shot for Jefferson. Now puts them in double digits, timeout called.
Yeah, and a good timeout called, I think, for Kennedy, as they just need to take a deep breath and they need to get back to their 2-3. They've actually been in a 3-2, and this has really opened up the paint. And when you open up the paint, they're going to be able to kick it outside and more threes. And they got the hot hand tonight, Jefferson does. And so I would not risk them giving them these open threes as they have this whole half.
Most certainly, and we now direct our attention to some of the games that were recently played. We talked about Jefferson's game against South St. Paul. Then, of course, Kennedy's last game against Chanhassen on the road. It was a tough loss, 58-42 for the Eagles. And then Richfield dropping their game against St. Anthony, 51-42 last Tuesday. And then Benilde and Cooper last Tuesday ended in a 59-55 win for Cooper.
Yeah, that Benilde Cooper game went down to the wire right there. That was played last Tuesday, a 4-point game. Maybe we'll see something like that this game, Alex.
For sure. It's been close for the most part.
Notice Jefferson does not have a safety out there on this full court press. And what I mean by that, as double dribbles called.
Oh, boy.
Good defense there, but there is no safety for Jefferson, meaning there's no one in the backcourt, so they could. No, I'm throwing a lot of football terms out there, but they could throw a Hail Mary over to the other side. It'll be an easy layup.
You need that safety release back in there, so very ambitious by Jefferson, but they have the ball here and the lead. Heeman pitches it back. Simone Clay. Oh, and it's right off of the hands of number 15. As Abby Jo Nelson couldn't quite get around to getting that pass on that baseline.
Right idea right there, Alex, as these interior paint scores, whoever scores more of them might win this game. We know both teams are going to be scoring off in the outside perimeter, but who can score inside?
And a foul was called on that last play. Maya Green is at the free throw line with that last good drive for Kennedy, drawing the foul, and now she will have a chance to put 2 on the board for the Kennedy Eagles. And she will hit the front end of her 2 tries.
Already 4 fouls committed by Jefferson. If Kennedy gets into the bonus this half, it might be trouble for Jefferson.
It's also how Kennedy figures that they might be able to win the game. Of course, it's always an advantage when you are in the bonus, but it's really important when you don't have that size advantage.
Oh, certainly, Alex, as both teams playing pretty small, as you'll see them running zone defense, and that means both teams can't confidently play man-to-man.
Oh, that's a great save by Heeman. Here's Clay from 3. Bounce, and it's rebounded again by Heeman. Abby Jo Nelson drives, and that's fouled.
Yeah, good Euro step there by Abby Jo Nelson here to avoid the first offender, and Kopka trying to plead her case to the refs, but it looked like that might have been a hack.
So Abby Jo Nelson at the free throw line for the Jefferson Jaguars, shooting 2. Abby Jo Nelson, a 5'9" sophomore, as that first shot just off the front of the rim.
Yeah, and Alex, both teams right now really got to put an emphasis on that free throw. If both teams are missing one after the other free throws, and if you end on a 50% night, that may not result in a win for either team.
especially those free throws. I know in this game, it's going to make or break each team's chances at winning down the stretch.
Yeah, they're called free throws for a reason, Alex.
Well, like anything that's free in life, of course, it's never free. You got to work for it. Or somebody does. And again, Kennedy trying to find these lanes.
And it looks like Jefferson's running man-to-man defense now.
Burchett. And we're going to get a foul here on Simone Clay. He's trying to go for the jump ball. Maya Green will throw it in for Kennedy, number 33. Maya Green. Only a freshman amongst a very young squad of Kennedy Eagles. And here's Burchett. We're going to try and find a lane, although it's going to go out of play.
Yeah, Burchett got the mismatch. That's what she wanted. Onto the bigger defender, Peters, but good job by Peters to reach in and take it on her senior night.
Hannah Peters for the Jefferson Jaguars, one of the captains as well. Burchett, a toss inside. Drive in, and it's going to be a travel.
Good.
Samara Buchanan was looking to draw the foul, and a travel called.
Good defense there by Jefferson to shut down the paint right there. Kennedy's got a little happy feet. Second travel call of the game right there for Kennedy.
And right now, it's still very, very early in the first half. There's still plenty of time in the game, of course. Here's a three, and it is good.
Perfection.
Emma Feltz is feeling it from downtown.
Perfection on zone killing offense. You put it inside the Peters at the free throw line, and you're going to find a lot of outside people wide open as Felt knocks down the three.
Feltz a little fired up after that three. I would be too if I made that. Here's a big shot. Heeman off the rim. And Emma Felt comes away with it.
Big offensive rebound. Whoever controls those offensive rebounds this game will result.
Felt back to Heeman. Interior pass. Oh, what a feed. And the foul. Abby Jo Nelson gets 2+ a trip to the line.
Jefferson's getting on a little run here, Alex. This is looking like a 5-0 run so far by Jefferson. They've really been good inside, as this is going to be another trip to the free throw line. Abby Jo Nelson, and one.
Most certainly, Abby Jo Nelson, a very dynamic player when she gets in a rhythm. Of course, all players can be, but especially her, because you never know where she's going to pop up on that basketball court. She can nail you from three, and she can nail you down low like we just saw.
Yeah, and you can see her third trip to the line this game. She can handle you physically as well.
10-point lead for the Jefferson Jaguars. And Kelly Kupka to throw it back in for Kennedy. And that press defense for Jefferson really helped turn the tables a little bit back in their favor. And, we're going to get a 5-second violation and a turnover.
Yeah, good defense there. The full court press defense that they're sending out Kennedy. They only have one person who can handle the ball that well, and that's Burchett, and they're shutting her down.
Very one-dimensional has Kennedy been so far in the first half with Burchett. Although Isabel Miller's also stepped up a little bit too. She's made some noise as well. Kennedy needs much more from her. Here's Heeman, and that one's way over the hoop.
Yeah, maybe if she shot that. Maybe she shot that from three, that would have gone in, and that would have been even better. But
here's Burchett, and that three is no good. Abby Jo Nelson with the rebound underneath. Simone Clay looking for somebody to give the ball to here. Back to Jo Nelson.
Yeah, if I'm Jefferson trying to crack the zone, do not pass it to the corner. You're going to get trapped every single time.
Here's Emma Felt driving baseline, and that pass is poked. Oh, and it's a travel, though. So Kennedy will get the ball back.
That's the biggest rule for playing offense. Facing a zone, never pass it to the corner. You're going to be surrounded by some trees if you get to the corner.
So they get it into Miller. And right now, if I'm the Kennedy Eagles, Daniel, if you were the head coach, Quentin Johnson, on that sideline, what would you be telling your squad right now, down 8 points?
I'm taking a deep breath. I'm telling my team, we're facing man-to-man now. We have to transition to a new offense, and I'm going to open up the lanes for Burchett to try to drive in as she does right there.
And we're going to get another foul call. So Kennedy again trying to put Jefferson towards enough fouls to get into the bonus. And seems to very, very well be working. No more fouls to give, by the way, for Jefferson. And that one's drilled from 3.
Big three-pointer there in the corner, contested. 2 seniors right there in the corner. Deep triple for Callie Kopka.
Just kind of stood there for about a second and then just decided, you know what, I'm just going to chuck it up. It was a big bucket for Kennedy, of course, as they needed that. Miller trying to chase the ball down, and it's jarred loose all the way to the other end of the court and rolling out of bounds.
And they're going to call this 2 ref. I see 2 different signals right now as
same here.
One official says Jefferson and one says Kennedy, and it looks like it will be Kennedy's ball.
And it most certainly will be. Number 33, Maya Green, to throw it in for the Kennedy Eagles. Abby Jo Nelson is on her. So here is where Kennedy's going to be challenged to try and create those lanes. I mean, you can't just rely on Burchett. Oh, and there's a gimme and a nice off-the-glass shot for Maya Green.
Yeah, miscommunication there by Jefferson right there. Left the paint wide open.
Looked like a jog in the park on that last drive for Maya Green. Uh-oh, wide open from 3, Emma Felt. And the offensive rebound gets the friendly bounce to go in for number 30, Hannah Peters, one of the senior captains.
Yeah, what a putback right there. Good second chance bucket for Jefferson, as they're going to need lots of those.
Surprised Emma Felt didn't make that last 3 as she made one from there earlier. Uh-oh, here's Green again. In and out. No good on the 3 attempt.
Even though it was a miss, Burchett right there drove in. That caused so much attention, kicked it out to a wide open 3-pointer.
Right, and it almost went in too, so Kennedy's heating up offensively. That drive off the front of the rim and out. Here's Maya Green again. Here's the drive. Green to the hoop. Drew the foul, and she's going to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and a late call here. You'd almost think that it's a late call just because the ref was waiting to see if it went in or not. And you'll see that sometimes when the refs don't make the call right away, they're waiting if it's a bucket. If it's a bucket, they might not even call it at all.
Well, Maya Green looking to turn it into a 3-point play. Kennedy now starting to come back. And they're also in the bonus, by the way, Daniel, too.
Yeah, big for Kennedy as she makes the first one there in the bonus with 7 minutes remaining. And so Jefferson has to make sure if they're at 7 fouls, there's going to be a lot of players on that team who might be in foul trouble. And
it's definitely going to be.
You got a whole
go
half
ahead.
left. Yeah, you have a whole half left.
And we'll see how Paul Roach addresses the foul concerns at halftime. Of course, that should be a very interesting discussion if we had access inside the team huddles at halftime, of course. I mean, wouldn't anybody?
Yeah, exactly. We'd love to have that little double agent type assignment as Kennedy's back to the 2-3. They're asking for them to shoot the perimeter shot now.
Knowing that Jefferson didn't quite make it their last chances, and that one's just a little bit off underneath. Heeman was no good off the glass.
I'm going to touch on that fine, though, by Chappell at the center position. A good job to find the open teammate.
From the corner, this is a long 2. If it goes in, and it did not. Offensive rebound does not go either. Daviana Buchanan could not make that last shot for Kennedy down low. Nice hands by Kelly Kopka to try and tip that, but it goes in the direction of Jefferson still, though. It's great disruption down low near the paint.
Yeah, this whole game you're going to see a rebound get grabbed. They switch back to 3-2. They're just going everywhere, but Jefferson able to adapt.
Oh, and Chappell just had that swatted away from her silly.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is you're going to see a rebound get grabbed, and you're just going to see the Jets turned immediately on by both teams. Both teams very fast. With the masks on in this very weird time of COVID, It may be a little hard to breathe with all this running.
Into Chappell. Working on the double team, has to get it back out, and it's picked off by Miller to Burchett up the floor, and she draws the foul.
Yeah, Hall looks frustrated with that foul call. She did reach in, however. Looks like a foul. What I see from Burchett is what many professionals do, which is very good. She cradles the ball, and this is gonna disallow the defense to be able to swipe it away.
Also, that
move.
speed too. It
certainly
really can force some very ill-advised reactions from Jefferson's defense, as we just saw. And Burchett is able to hit the first of her 2 free throws. Emma Felt back on the floor for the Jefferson Jaguars, new substitution.
Jefferson so far has done a good job shutting her down. Only 2 points in this first half.
20-16. Kennedy looking to make it 20-17 here with this next free throw, and it will become 20-17. How about that? 1
possession game now, and let me tell you, it's only 1 shot away because these teams are firing it away from deep tonight.
And Kennedy very disruptive in the paint, and especially Kelly Kopka there just moments ago. She's been doing terrific here in the back half of the first half defensively, and a travel.
If I'm Jefferson and I'm looking at this Kennedy defense, do not send it to the corner. This Kennedy team is fast and they are hungry. They can almost smell the ball when it's to the corner. So if I'm Jefferson, I'm keeping it out of the corner. And I'm looking at this matchup right here, Clay and Burchett right now.
See how Simone Clay handles Burchett. Obviously not that well, as Burchett was able to get the drive. Shot is no good and out of play. It's the subtle moves that Ashley Burchett gets other players with, as we just saw there on that last drive for Kennedy.
Those little hesitations, patient on the screen.
And here is Burchett. Good dribbling skills by her. And we're going to get a timeout by Quentin Johnson and the Kennedy Eagles with 5:25 remaining here in this first half at Jefferson High School, as Kennedy has cut the Jefferson lead down to 3 after being down 10 whole points.
Yeah, good job by Kennedy, and where it really started was in the offensive side. They were struggling to get an offense going, but a deep corner 3 by Kopka, and after that, the rest was a big run on fast breaks and free throws.
Also, Kennedy is in the bonus too, so that does help them with the size disadvantage they have compared to Jefferson. And for Jefferson, that size has definitely helped them out a lot in this game.
Yeah, the second chance buckets, as of late for both teams, will really be an important factor to look at. And how about for Jefferson? Do you think we'll see Roach back on the court for Jefferson? She's a huge offensive piece. Thankfully, she's upstanding with a bag of ice in her hand, it looks like right now, but
took the brunt of a Ashley Burchett charge. I mean, for somebody of that size, Ashley Burchett, she has got a lot of power.
Certainly, yeah.
Very low center of gravity, and don't typically expect that, but, well, with her you have to. So Kelly Kopka with the throw in moments ago for Kennedy, as Ashley Burchett looks to get things going.
Looks like a 2-3 switch for Jefferson right now.
Kopka for 3, that one's well short. And out of play, was tracked down by Kennedy's number 23. That will be Naraya Dismukes.
Good contest there by Jefferson. We're going to see 3-2 once again. Chappell down in the middle. You're going to see corners collapse. What I mean by that, the corners are going to collapse inwards. Wide open 3.
And a big 3 is knocked down. It's Hannah Peters, the senior, strutting her stuff from downtown.
Good first half for the 3-pointers for Jefferson.
And here's Burchett. She wants her chance at a 3. That one doesn't go. And Heeman with the rebound for the Jefferson Jaguars. Here's Felt with the ball. She fires from 3, no shot, and a travel by Felt.
Second traveling call on Felt this game.
Watch how she shuffled her feet there. Just that little shuffle.
Yeah, and a common mistake for all basketball. Once you catch that, you want that jump stop to get your feet set straight to the hoop, but you got to contain them.
Most certainly. And you're so worried about getting that shot block. You just want to get it off right away, but sometimes you got to settle it down and maybe pass it away if you need to.
A persistent zone defense here from Roach.
And Miller getting the handoff from Burchett. Approaching 4 minutes to play here in the first half from Jefferson High School. Glad you could be with us. Alex Redding alongside Daniel Trummel and our crew. Battle of B-Town Girls Edition. Nice find in the middle. That one's off the mark. No good as Naraya Disputes could not hit the jumper. Nice pass into Chapel. Post up, and it's good.
Yeah, and let me tell you this, Alex. When they pass it down to Chapel, down in that restricted area, you're never going to see a miss. Good find for Jefferson.
Especially with her size. And again, Jefferson's zone defense making it very difficult for Kennedy to try and get lanes going, especially against the perimeter.
Yeah, rough start for Kennedy beyond the three-point land. And Jefferson's forcing them to shoot it out there almost as they're just playing catch out there right now.
Nice pass to Smukes, goes in, and the foul!
What a finish with contact. You look at a replay, good in pass right there, and one. You see the contact, great finish.
Nice little pass too, that's how you get it done in the paint. That's how you have to do it. Abby Jo Nelson checks back in for Jefferson. And Naraya Dismukes looking for the and one, looking to get Kennedy 20 points, and she does not. Well, loose ball, and a foul is called right off of the scrum.
Looks like a loose ball foul was called right there, Alex, and that's 5 fouls now for Kennedy. Jefferson committing one more, that's double bonus, and that's when it starts to get hectic. 2-3 back for Kennedy. We'll see Peters in the middle at that free throw line to start the offense going.
Ashley Burchett giving Simone Clay a little run for her money there moments ago. Wanted to take a shot as she drove in, but has to kick it back out. Abby Jo Nelson, the Heeman, trying to work through it. Pass on the baseline. That one goes out. No good for Hannah Peters. And a jump ball.
Arrow points to Jefferson, remains possession, and for Jefferson, I'm still really, really cautious about the corner play right now. Only time I want to see in the corner is when you collapse the middle.
Pass to the corner. Jo Nelson trying to work it out of that corner.
Yeah, you see the swarm though once it goes to the corner.
Like a bunch of bees. Here's Simone Clay. That three is no good, and it's tracked down by Maya Green, who has it.
Looked good from our angle, but maybe not from hers.
A good-looking drive by Maya Green. The ball eventually goes out of play. Shot was no good. Good job by Malia Shaw to come in towards the end of that missed shot to try and clean up for Kennedy. And Miller.
Looks like a moving screen call right now.
And that was what the call will be.
Trying to get the shooter open right there. Good play call. But you got to keep those feet set if you're Kennedy.
Abby Jo Nelson. Back to Clay.
Looks like they're running a 2-1-2 now.
Trying to look to go for the trap here. That long shot off the back of the rim. And Kennedy with the rebound.
And for those watching at home, the 2-1-2, one defender for Kennedy's going to hang out in the middle, and two are going to run the baseline. This defense is really wanting you to force up bad shots.
Ashley Burchett off the mark from three-point range.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everything from Kennedy.
Pass into Peters.
Defense.
No friendly bounce for her. And number 22, Malia Shaw with the rebound for Kennedy. And now here's Burchett on the drive. No good. Shaw came flying in for the rebound. And it is deflected out of play.
Yeah, slowly getting up Burchett, thankfully. Both two Eagles colliding into each other. Remains Kennedy ball.
Yes, indeed, with just a little bit over a minute and a half remaining here on this first half. We will also try and get a score update from across town at Kennedy to see how the boys varsity basketball teams are doing right now in their Battle of Bloomington contest. And here's Jefferson creating a nice little opportunity. Simone Clay. Heeman will heave it. Got it!
Good mid-range jumper right there for Heeman. I have yet to see her miss from that mid-range spot. It is sweet.
Very high percentage, most certainly is. Here's Burchett on Clay. Maya Green just gives it back. Here's a drive, and that one's off the mark. No good by Samara Buchanan. Ball out of bounds. It will stay with the Eagles. Now just under a minute remaining. Here's Green. Pass to the outside. Miller. No good on the three. Rebound by Simone Clay.
Yet to make a three is Miller.
And Abby Jo Nelson a little bit ahead of herself, and another Jefferson travel. (36-17) is the score, by the way. Just getting an update from our producer Paul Fournier in the boys' Battle of Bloomington across town at Kennedy.
Yeah, looking to keep that undefeated season alive, Alex.
Oh, that almost went in for Maya Green from downtown, but it's no good.
Kennedy getting cold from the outside. If I'm Kennedy, I need an inside bucket to get some runs going.
There have been all kinds of gremlins for Kennedy when they've had to shoot the ball towards that hoop here in this first half. Heeman gets it down, puts it up, and it cheated her. That one should have gone in, but it did not. No good on the three. Burchett drives to the rim, and the finish.
An athletic finish with 1 second left. It's going to be short. What a good finish there to finish off the half.
It's only 2 points, but it's a big bucket. It gets Kennedy over that 20-point mark. 21 for the Eagles and 27 for Jefferson. We have reached halftime here in West Bloomington. Stick around. The second half will be back in just moments right here on BEC-TV. Almost ready to start the second half here at Jefferson High School, right here on BEC-TV. The Battle of Bloomington Girls Edition from Jefferson High School is almost ready here, just about under half a minute on the clock for halftime. So Alex running alongside Daniel Trumbull and our crew here from Jefferson. Daniel, when we look back at the first half, what are some of the few big takeaways for both Kennedy and Jefferson?
Well, for Jefferson, Alex, that perimeter shot was on fire that entire half. Lots of perimeter shooting. For Kennedy, the perimeter shot was not too hot for them in that first half, but they were really getting their points on the free throws, and they were already in the double bonus entering into half. So for both teams, they're going to stay physical, but for Jefferson, stay smart on the physical end, and Kennedy, don't let them shoot the three.
Most certainly. Jefferson is much taller this year than they've been in the past few years, and it's contributed to a lot of their scoring. The last game that Jefferson played, they put up 90-plus points on South St. Paul. This team just keeps looking better and better and better as this very young season continues to progress. And even last Friday when they were here against Beneld, it was a very entertaining game. Now, I know that Beneld kind of pulled away at the end, but, I mean, Jefferson kept it very, very close. And Beneld is a very skilled girls basketball program.
They did, and what's different about this height on this team, Alex, is that all of them can shoot. All of them can bring the ball up. It's a very fast-paced team. Someone grabs a rebound, everyone goes. And so that's just how it works here at Jefferson, almost developing some type of the next-gen offenses that you see in college basketball and the NBA.
A lot of zone defense, too, from both teams tonight, Daniel. I know that you pointed it out several times throughout the program as Kennedy will start with the ball to begin the second half.
And Jefferson will start in that 2-3. They know that they've been cold from the perimeter, and they're going to try to force them to shoot it more.
Ashley Burchett trying to find lanes. Jefferson has been very stingy on the perimeter. Kennedy right now trying to stretch that defense out with a lot of these passes on the exterior. Here's a quick jumper, and it's knocked down by Mariah Dismukes. She got into some of the scoring action later on in the first half, and she opens that up for Kennedy. Oh, but look out! Hannah Peters has got an answer for that.
Yeah, so back in the first half, we were talking about free throws. That was almost as free as one of those, as Hannah Peters found wide open for the deuce.
Mariah Dismukes wanted somebody to pass to her down to the paint, thought she was wide open. How about that? Kelly Kopka making it rain from the corner and the three for Kennedy.
Had one in the first half. You can't leave her open 2 times in a row, Alex, and that's going to hurt them.
Turnaround jumper off the front of the rim for Simone Clay, number 25 in Columbia blue and white. Now, Kelly Kopka for Kennedy was very, very strong defensively in the first half, and nice three-pointer on the last Kennedy score, by the way. Now that's going to get immediately shut down by Chapel down low. You could already see how big of a factor that size is for Jefferson this year. Here's Simone Clay with it, navigating around the key.
And good job by Kennedy. Looks like they're going to be running man-to-man here so far in this half.
Chapel, and that pass back around. Hannah Peters driving, got it.
Wow, that was beautiful, Alex. As you saw, the ball barely touched the ground. It was all in the air. Good passes all around it, right on the baseline.
Couldn't really call it. It happened that fast. Isabel Miller wants it for three. No good. That one does not go. She gets her own rebound, though. How about that? Burchett, nice pass, and finds.
What a dime there by Burchett. You can look at the pressure and attention she gets from Chapel, the center, and finds a wide open deuce for a good layup.
Malia Shaw on the last put in for the Kennedy Eagles down low in the paint. Double dribble by Simone Clay, turnover, and the ball's going right back to Kennedy. And now it is back to one possession game.
Yeah, if I'm Kennedy, you got a chance to tie it. Don't feel like you need to, however, because this three-pointer has not been hot for you this game, as Miller, who's inbounding right now, 0 for 4 from beyond the arc, but
not heard.
You're not gonna score any if you stop shooting them. So
right,
keep shooting them in.
Isabel Miller's non-typical three-point night as she misses another there. Nice offensive rebound as Green tried to make something happen. Or rather, that was Dismukes. Ball out of play. We'll stay with Kennedy.
Yeah, what a block here by Chapel. She didn't even jump. She just kept those arms up and
just playing straight up. That's the way you got to play. Nothing but textbook from Chapel down low for Jefferson. Burchett with the throw in. Miller gets into the corner. Here's Burchett with a drive. That one is going to be called a foul. Nice drive in by Ashley Burchett. She's drawn several fouls in this game, and she continues to do that.
Yeah, good drive right here. Staying physical. Maybe trying to get Jefferson in foul trouble a little bit in the early second half as that's going to be another foul on Jefferson.
Kennedy also knows that it's probably their best strategic asset to win this game, considering Jefferson's size and considering their speed that they can bring to the table as well. Very quiet before that last shot was made. You couldn't even hear a pin drop.
Exactly, and that's very rare to hear in this Jefferson gymnasium, as the Bloomington battle usually is very loud.
Well, that ball was stripped. There's a foul on the baseline hard.
Almost what looked like a frustration foul there by Chappell. As checking in for Jefferson is Emily Roach, who was out for majority of the first half, back with a tape around her right wrist. It looks like her shooting hand, so we'll see how that affects her this half.
Especially around the perimeter, Emily Roach, when she can get open for three. Without a taped hand or an injured hand, she can really find a sweet spot. So we'll see if Jefferson gets her going into the interior, and that drive results in a Kennedy foul as Heeman drove to the basket and will be rewarded with a trip to the charity stripe.
Yeah, good pressure there in the full court press by Anderson, taken away by Bichette, who tried to do a behind the back move, almost doing too much.
Oh, in and out for Heeman on her first free throw try. And Jefferson trying to figure out subs. Abby Jo Nelson a little bit eager there, but she eventually gets in, though. Number 15 for Jefferson. Keep an eye on her. She's had a little bit of a paint presence tonight, too, offensively for Jefferson, as we've seen in the first half.
Yeah, and good call here by Rhodes. If you want that full court press, you need to get your fast players out. And if you look at the court right now, it's a bunch of speedsters for Jaguars.
Covering it is Roach, and a timeout smartly taken by her father, the head coach.
Yeah, I was questioning why. She had a little tuck and roll action with the ball right there, but it looks like the father-daughter connection almost telepathically went to each other. So
it's all in the family, of course, as they say. As we take a quick timeout here, let's go ahead and take a look at the schedules for both of these two teams. Now, for Jefferson, after this game, here tonight hosting their crosstown rival in Kennedy, they go on the road to Cooper and Chaska, a couple of very tough opponents coming up for Jefferson here throughout the week.
Yeah, you look at that.
Actually, next week, rather.
Yeah, you look at the next game that you were looking at, and it's going to be really tough coming off of this Bloomington battle where it's a completely different team than Kennedy that you're facing in Robbinsdale Cooper, and it's going to be their first away game in the past 3 games, and so it's going to be weird getting on that bus again, but we'll see how that Jaguars team do. And they might be coming off a 2-game winning streak if they hold on to this lead tonight, causes momentum, get your team in a better morale. You never know.
Who knows? Jefferson's definitely led the majority of this game, but Kennedy has been giving them a run for their money. Only a 2-point game with just a tick over 15 minutes remaining here in this very young second half. Kennedy, meanwhile, after this game tonight, it's at home against St. Louis Park, then on the road at Cooper. Next couple of games coming up for the Kennedy Eagles again. Nice find, Abby Jo Nelson's pass, and the shot by Jefferson's number big 3-0. Hannah Peters does not go on that last offensive possession for Jefferson. Here's Maya Green. It's handled a little bit by Miller, but she's able to recover again. Jefferson's perimeter defense showing a really good textbook example of what to do.
Good communication. You can hear the screaming down at the court. And that's good. If you hear a silent court, that is not a good sign.
Oh, Burchett was able to find a spot down towards the baseline and draws another foul.
Yeah, big reaching right there. Like Courtney Anderson down below. You cannot reach against Burchett. If you reach, she'll teach.
Very well said, my friend. especially with how shifty she can be. If you try and think you can get a jump ball on her, she will teach you. As you've mentioned, here's Miller trying to find an inlet pass. Trying to get away from that. Oh! Here's a jump ball. That's a great opportunistic play by Courtney Anderson, number 2 for Columbia Blue and White.
An arrow pointing to Jefferson as the arrow switches. Looks like Kennedy's going to try to face guard Roach right now. Good strategies, Roach. She gets a hot hand. Who knows when she's going to cool down.
Should definitely be tested with that tweaked hand of hers. Oh, there's a nice block. It's clean and it's out of play.
Yeah, chased down on the glass by Kennedy. Good defensive effort there.
Abby Jo Nelson, nice bounce pass to Anna Peters. Nice move and cannot finish.
Yeah, a couple good looks for Peters down the stretch now and can't capitalize on them.
Here's Burchett with a drive and the friendly rim. Waxley friendly glass, but she got it either way. It's tie game.
What a patient finisher. 2 steps felt like it was 14 of them as very.
And that will be whistled dead.
It's now a tied game, and we're seeing a full court press by Jefferson.
Miller, nice bounce pass to Burchett. She's got a lane. Nice move and draws the foul.
Yeah, good aggressive finish here by Burchett.
Nice Euro step there at the end of it.
More and more fouls on the board for Jefferson. 4th on the board. Kenny's on a little run.
They most certainly are. And right now, if I'm Jefferson, if I'm Paul Roach, I got to be concerned those 4 fouls already with 13:24 remaining in the second half compared to Kennedy's lone foul as Burchett will give Kennedy its first lead of the half.
And when you're in the bonus, Alex, you got to make sure you're fouling the right person because you don't want number 5 in white to be on the line with 5 minutes or 2 minutes left in this game.
That is definitely true as well. And that one could not find the friendly rim. Anna Peters to the near side. Heeman now handles it.
Jefferson in a man, Kennedy in a man-to-man defense, making them scramble.
That's what you want opposing offenses to do is work. Keep moving around. Especially, I can imagine it's that much harder playing with these masks. Oh, it's a nice find. Emma Feld has to kick it out, though. Peters! Not quite going to go, but Felt is there again for the rebound. And stepping out of play along that baseline.
Good
Very
initial
tough spot to be in.
Good initial find by Roach. We talked about the telepathy between the father and the daughter right there. It looked like it was with her and Felt. Good little backdoor cut.
Well, both teams have been able to keep each other on their heels when they found the back door. And guess who found another back door? It's Roach from downtown.
Hurt hand or not, Roach is going to make you pay for being wide open in the paint.
That's a nice takeaway by Chappell down low. Just going straight up.
Good job by Jefferson keeping their hands straight up and not committing any type of foul or any type of contact.
You know, in a lot of those plays, all she just has had to do is to stand there. Oh, that's a nice find again.
Great input pass right there into the post. You can't ask for a better pass if you're Anna Peters down at the block.
Anna Peters getting hot, close to the paint. Look out. Miller has it. Nice pass to Burchett, drives. Oh, that's a great kick pass. Oh, but the shot's too far and swatted out of play, out of bounds.
Yeah.
We'll stay with Kennedy, though.
Like I've said in the past, this whole game, Burchett has just got so much attention. This opens up all of her teammates. The playmaking role that she has really has helped, and it's going to be huge for the rest of this game.
Won that drive is there's a foul right there.
That's going to be the 5th on Jefferson now this game.
Jefferson's got to do something to get this under control. That last foul will send Maya Green to the line. And shooting 2.
Huge free throw right there, Alex, to put the lead to one possession.
And Kennedy has also been warming up from the free throw line as well. Not quite able to hit the back end of her attempts. Oh, but it goes out of bounds off of Jefferson, so still Kennedy basketball. Kennedy given a lot of good nuggets here so far.
Yeah, it just looks like Chapel couldn't retain possession fully, but so far, Kennedy, you gotta be as physical as you can right now. 12 minutes remaining in the second half and already 5 fouls.
Burchett trying to put the moves on Felt, working around. Here's Kupka for 3, and she's got the sweep hands to finish.
Yeah, good little run going for Kennedy. Tied game, you got the momentum now. It's almost like we're at Kennedy right now, not Jefferson.
Yeah, I know. She made a big one earlier in the first half. Here's Chapel, and it rolls in.
Yeah, you're not going to see her miss down there. 23 in blue, you're going to need a double team.
It's a one-possession game. Jefferson still has the lead. Dismukes, a little pull-up jumper. She's got it from the floor in space.
Good job for Kennedy, capitalizing on the 2-on-1 right there. Hard assignment for Chapel right there to pick ball or basket.
Kennedy's done a nice job of slowing this game down pace-wise, especially from the floor. Drive, baseline, heaving it up, and is able to draw the foul. Roach to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, good physical play right there. Roach fears nothing with the tape around her hand. She doesn't care. She's going in. She's laying it all out there for her team.
Tweaked hand and all. And with a nice touch, she hits the front end of her 2 attempts, and Abby Jo Nelson checks back in on the floor for the Jags.
Clean game so far for Kennedy, Alex. It's only the second foul in this second half. You need to be physical if you're Jefferson. Keep on drawing fouls.
And so both free throws were dropped by Roach at the line. Oh, and that one's a little bit too out of reach for Dismukes, out of play. Jefferson basketball.
Good idea if you're Kennedy, but this full court pressure by Jefferson's not going to be as easy as you think. They're going to make you think something's open, and those passing lanes are going to be cut out early. With the speed on this perimeter that Jefferson has in their lineup right now, it's going to be hard to get through.
Roach to Nelson. Abby Jo Nelson getting a little confidence, and there's a foul. Nice job of driving in, gets the blocking foul call.
Yep, and you're going to the line for 2 more if you're Jefferson. That's now 3 fouls. Yeah, Kennedy controlling the time right now, you could almost say. As Jefferson going to the line, that stops the clock.
Jefferson also trying to control some energy here, and nice bounce off the front of the rim. It goes in for Abby Jo Nelson. And Abby Jo Nelson's able to hit both, so we saw Roach and now Abby Jo Nelson as well hit their free throw attempts.
4-point game now for Jefferson, 2-possession game. There is an 8-second violation, Alex, that they didn't get over.
And another misplay on the attempted pass, so out of bounds again. Jefferson with the basketball. Kennedy really needs to settle it down to the passing game.
Yeah, another turnover here by this Jefferson press defense. It's a frenzy for Jefferson, and they have taken advantage so far.
It's one of the best ways to swing that momentum. One of those tried and true options. Oh, there's a nice find. Emma Felt feeling it inside the paint. Just kind of hanging out there. And it's like, hey guys, how you doing?
You could hear almost an earthquake happen on the court as she was asking for the ball, stomping her feet, and rightfully so, wide open.
Miller back to Burchett. As Jefferson showing that 2-3 look. Kelly Kopka
looks
looking
like
for somebody.
3-2 almost now, as they have 3 people playing perimeter. Now it looks man-to-man.
Trying to move it around. Jefferson continuing to keep Kennedy on that perimeter. And Miller wants a three, and she's got it!
First of the game, if I'm Jefferson, I'm getting a little scared now. She made her first one, and there's probably more that comes right after that. Miller from deep.
Just 4 consecutive before that three-point make for Isabel Miller. Pitches it across. Joe Nelson trying to get out of the double team, is able to find a release valve in Roach, and she'll throw it into Peters. Too far, but Felt is there for the rebound, kicks it out. Here's Roach from downtown. Off the front of the rim, no good. She gets back her own rebound. Here's Joe Nelson.
And we were talking about second chance points, Alex. How about fourth chance points right now for Jefferson?
Oh, couldn't quite get the handle on that one. Angelina Chappell lost it, and Kennedy's able to capitalize. Here they come on offense.
Straight up down here, ladies. Straight up, straight up.
Burchette working off of Emma Felt, number 1.
Looks like zone defense for Jefferson once again.
Oh, and boy, did she have that one taken away from her. Here's Roach trying to settle it down.
3-2 back for Kennedy right now. Good job by Jefferson finding the hole so far.
So a foul is going to be called on Kennedy there.
Yeah, closing out a little too late right there, lowering the elbow, it looks like, and another foul on Kennedy, almost even for fouls now.
Malia Shaw called for the foul, and Kennedy's played mostly a clean game as far as fouls are concerned, and that pass went out of play. A little bit of a miscommunication there, or just
something was there though, Alex. I did see two
It
Jaguars
was.
open in that corner.
Definitely we're going with the right direction. A little overhead that last pass, and is eventually able to get it off. And Smukes going to the bucket, draws the foul, and she'll head to the line
Yeah,
for some free throws.
Thank the Lord for those knee braces, right? From Hannah Peters doing her slip and slide impression down on the court. Without those, I can tell you that's going to leave a mark the next day. I don't even know if you're sliding that far without those on.
It's one of the many battle scars of the sport. And Smukes, a little bit too much power on that attempt.
Big free throws right here for Kennedy. As you got to take advantage now. After this, you're 1-1. You're in the 1-1 bonus, and so get hot from the line right now.
Well, certainly Jefferson, no more fouls to give. Heeman also checks into the game too for Jefferson, by the way. And Smukes able to hit the back end of her tries. Was 1 out of 2 from that last free throw line trip. Good defense. Here's a drive by Roach. Nice dump off down low in the finish to Chappell.
Yeah, almost like a composer in music. Emily Roach almost doing whatever she wants to do.
Kelly Kopka's got to try and get in front of those passes down low. You cannot give Chappell those opportunities. Little pull-up jumper off the mark in the air and settled down by Joe Nelson on the rebound.
Not settled down quite yet. It's always fast breaks for this Jefferson team.
Here's Joe Nelson, and that drive going to be recovered by her teammates. They get it back to her, and she'll draw the foul, going up for a second chance underneath.
Couple great finds here by the center, Chappell. Almost reminds me of an NBA player that you may know of, Nikola Jokic. The big man can also compose the ball and pass it very well, just almost like a point guard. And when you got a point guard who is as big as a center, it's a lethal weapon on your team.
Speaking of lethal, these free throws for Jefferson have been everything lethal that they've needed them to be.
Yeah, extending this to a 2-possession game as of late. Now you got a 1-on-1 situation next foul.
And Kennedy's hoping they can go down the court one more time and draw that foul and get into that bonus. And there we go. That's the third consecutive trip, I believe. Jefferson has gone to the free throw line and has nailed both.
Yeah, Jefferson doing good at the strike this game so far. Looks like a half-court pressure maybe right here by Jefferson. No, they fall off. It looks like man-to-man.
Little pull-up shot, and that one's good. Uriah Smukes is able to hit from the floor.
Yeah, that's another assist for Bichette. They've shut her down for scoring, but she's found her role in the playmaking game.
Heeman. Back out to Simone Clay. It's been a while since we've called her name so far in this one. Kennedy doing a nice job defensively, and that last shot no good by Simone Clay, and here's the fight for the ball, and it will be a tie-up. So, and the possession arrow goes in favor of the Kennedy Eagles. It will be Eagles ball. So now for Kennedy, here's the chance to try and get the basket if they can, but also try and draw the foul and get themselves into the bonus.
Yeah, it looks like that double screen play set up, and what a pass.
Oh, but she couldn't finish. That was a great looking pass from Bichette.
What a good looking scheme right there on this play, Alex, as they do a double screen, double roll from both players. And for Jefferson, you're going to have a lot of miscommunication of switches.
Samara Buchanan could not hit the feed on the last offensive possession, and going right around off the glass is Heeman for the Jags, and they now have 51.
3 possession game now. Or 2, excuse me, now for Jefferson.
Look out! Bichette is able to draw the foul to put Kennedy back into the bonus on the drive to the hoop.
Yeah, good drive here by Bichette. She's wanting to take it this entire evening. Defense not giving it to her, but right there, she needs to be selfish too, Alex. She needs to get her points too.
Kennedy's leading scorer from a year ago returns. She's got a lot of basketball left in her, and it's going to be really, really cool to see how she develops as she moves along through this program. And, you know, to see the skills that she possesses here as a underclassman, who I can't imagine what she's going to be like as a junior or senior.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of scouts almost drooling over the fact that this speedster is only a sophomore in high school, and so.
Only 5'6", but do not let that frame fool you one bit. Good tough rebound by Heeman, and not quite enough to save it from going out of bounds. Jefferson turns it over. (64-46). Just around 2.5 minutes to go in the boys' game across town at Kennedy High School. A much closer game here tonight, Daniel, from Jefferson High School in the girls' edition. Here's Green, wants a 3, and it's off the mark. Dismukes wanted the rebound, and here comes Simone Clay up the floor, and she's got the touch.
Made the 3 in the first half, and now showing the other dimension of her game. Good drive on the fast break, coast to coast from Simone Clay.
That was a ludicrously low angle that she was able to bank it in off of that last shot. Oh, here's a wide open shot from the corner. That's a tough shot, and it goes for number 24, Deviana Buchanan.
What a find by Bichette. It's almost like she's playmaking the entire team that she's on, and it's graceful to see what she's doing with the ball.
Her passing is definitely underrated, that I will say. Here's Abby Jo Nelson on the drive, kicks it out. Here's Clay with it.
If I'm Jefferson,
into Heeman.
If I'm Jefferson right now, Alex, I'm going to take a trip to Vegas, not to see your Golden Knights, Alex, but to play some poker. We're going to play some Texas Hold'em right now.
Sounds like a plan, and there's a foul.
I want to play Hold'em. I want to hold on to this ball as long as I can. You have 4 minutes left. Kennedy now is one-on-one. You don't want them to get the ball again as.
Well, certainly. Well, if you're going to hold them, you also got to know when to fold them, too.
Exactly.
When to walk away and when to run. Again, another killer free throw attempt is made. It's time by Simone Clay to her free throw line trip. Aaliyah Shaw is now into the game for Kennedy, number 22.
Big height advantage for Kennedy now, inside with Chappell on the bench for Jefferson.
Kennedy feels like, I believe, that they can push the tempo inside the paint. That one rattles out, and Shaw with the rebound for Kennedy.
Yeah, now swarming
Bichette
to Bichette.
Wide open. Driving around with a shot, no good. Was Buchanan. And Jefferson now the other way.
Now under 4 minutes, Alex, this is where I don't need to feel like I need to shoot. We can dribble out the clock. There's no shot clock here in high school, so you can just dribble this out and you can hold them.
Well, certainly, take your time. Heyman driving around the defense, and a little kiss off the glass. Goes right on through for the Jags, 56-48.
Contradicting exactly what I just said, Alex, but when the defense gives you a layup, I mean, take it every time. That's free. That's a free layup.
Making lemonade out of some lemons there, and gonna get another foul on the floor.
And that's gonna be 1-1 for Kennedy.
The other big factor, too, is now the clock is stopped with 3:26 to go, so Kennedy, it's how many fouls can you draw in that time? Can they also make the free throws as well? They couldn't there. Looking a little iffy, and Simone Clay is able to get the rebound. And with Burchett having to try and catch up, let's see if Jefferson tries to push it inside. They do. Joe Nelson is able to draw a foul down low towards that baseline.
1-1 for Jefferson now as they're entering the bonus. Both teams now in the bonus. Could potentially put this to a double-digit game, Alex.
It very much could. And so another timeout is taken. Now, if I'm Jefferson going into this timeout, if I'm Paul Roach, what's the message to my players right now?
Yeah, right now he's holding the clipboard, it looks like, and he is assigning a press break offense, because when Kennedy scores a bucket, you should be sure that they're going to send a press defense at you. Under 3 minutes remaining, closely. They need to get the ball back, and what they're going to do is they're going to send that full court press. If I'm Paul Roach right now, I'm drawing up my play where you're going to see if Kennedy will not have a safety in the back, and you're going to send one of your fast guards all the way to the other side.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the court, if you're Kennedy, if you're Quentin Johnson, what am I telling my players right now? Like, what do we need to do to get back in this thing?
Yeah, holding the clipboard on the opposite end, too. You're going to do the opposite. You're going to make the press defense that you're making and shutting down the ball to get to the ball handlers on this Jefferson team. And so you're going to be face guarding a lot. There's not going to be much zone press defense right now. And you're telling your team, there's 3 minutes left. That's a lot of time in basketball. No need to be discouraged. Keep on fighting. This game is in reach.
Well, 3 minutes definitely is a lot of time. I mean, translating what I'm about to say to a different sport, I mean, when you have Tom Brady on the football field, 3 minutes feels like 30 minutes.
Oh, when you got one, if you give the ball back to Brady with 1 minute left, it's almost like, oh, shoot, we lost. And so maybe we'll see something like that next Sunday as the Bucs take on the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Good rebound by Shaw. Off the missed free throw attempt for Kennedy, and now here they come. Here's Burchett with it. Working around Anderson, nice quick pass, Disputes in trouble, and recovering for her was Isabel Miller. Gosh, that's a nice heads-up play by Isabel Miller, number 12 for Kennedy.
Almost right place, right time right there, Alex, as the ball, it was like a power ball almost, just lucky roll to her.
Isabel Miller, the 5'9" senior, definitely has a lot of experience through this program, and another timeout taken, this time by Quentin Johnson and the Kennedy Eagles.
Yeah, both teams now, Kennedy with 2 timeouts remaining now with this 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining, and you're going to need those as the teams are getting tired down the stretch, Alex, and so both of these teams really fast paced, and you're going to get that press defense. It's going to be a frenzy. You're going to get tired with these masks on as well, and so
I was just going to say something to that extent.
Totally different season. I couldn't imagine playing this sport with a mask on as they display the seniors.
Yes, all the colorful signage. And you know, that's really something awesome when you come to Jefferson High School basketball games and witness is just the support that is just so big. It's outpouring for the team.
That has to be special for this year, as they weren't even supposed to have a season this year, but thankfully these seniors got to play this season of basketball. I know it may be weird, masks on, minimal fans, but whatever to get them back on the court, correct?
Right, at least we had basketball, at least we had fans. And at least we have a broadcast for you, ladies and gentlemen, that we can put on the air
And
to
a very
showcase all these
entertaining
great young
game.
athletes. Yeah, oh yeah, that too, of course. Here's a look at some of the fans tonight. Pretty much at capacity for tonight's game.
Yeah, you see almost route running right there.
Boy. Another little but big mistake by Dismukes. Lost the handle towards the near side. And Jefferson will get it back. Approaching 2.5 minutes to go left in this game.
Good leadership there by Kopka. I don't know if you heard that, but she said keep your head up. 2:30 left in this game. You got it. Being a senior leader, you have to tell your team that.
And she has played as good as she has led, and she has led very, very nicely, whether it's offensive or defensive. She's done it. Oh, that three did not go, but Chappell the rebound and a jump ball.
Big rebound right there from Chappell. Position arrow remains a Jefferson. Big possession right there, but big second chance. Rebound right there.
It's also good for Kennedy. Oh boy. Well, that's not good for Kennedy. I was going to say that now the possession arrow switches back over to Kennedy, but that last basket definitely is not good news.
Double-digit lead up for Jefferson. I do not need a three if I'm Kennedy quite yet. You need to get some defensive stops.
Oh, that's a nice find, and not able to hit it, but look at the cleanup, but she couldn't finish either. How about Shaw coming in?
Big second chance. I don't know what Kennedy's doing right now. You got 1:40. Jefferson's just going to drain the clock right now. You need to pressure them as much as you can. Those passes right there that you see, those quick bullet passes, you need to cut the passing lanes if you're Kennedy.
And that's one of Jefferson's specialties too, that passing game. That's what they're known for. And just getting word now from the boys edition of the Battle of Bloomington. 66-50, Jefferson gets the win on the east side of town.
Yeah, and now if you're Kennedy, you almost need a foul now as it's almost below a minute, and Jefferson has 2 aces in their pocket playing Hold'em right now.
Oh, certainly. Chappell able to draw a foul here up at the top.
Wow, what a great possession right there. 40 seconds off the clock for Jefferson, holding on to that ball.
Yeah, just a couple of ticks under a minute to go, too. Kennedy's going to need to start fouling here pretty soon, but of course, then again, Jefferson is in the bonus. Daviana Buchanan slides back into the game for Kennedy now on the floor, number 24, and so does number 11, Rachel Hall, one of the captains for Jefferson. Gets a little bit of an applause from the fans here.
I don't know if you remember this performance, Alex, but back maybe a couple decades ago, Tracy McGrady for the Houston Rockets once put up 13 points in about like lightning fast action.
Oh, there's a nice rebound, and how about that finish? Callie Kopka with some good leadership, very well needed. As we are now under 40 seconds remaining in the second half. Here's Felt with a drive, kicks it out. Rachel Hall from downtown. Off the backboard, no good. Rebound by Burchett. Here come the Eagles up the floor. They need a quick basket. Kopka, fearless, and that's off the mark. No good from way deep. And another quick foul. And the clock will stop with 18.7 seconds to go.
Yeah,
and
I think
with Kennedy down 8 points.
This pair of free throws right here by Clay may be the dagger right now. And if I'm looking back, if I'm Kennedy, I'm seeing the amount of time that Jefferson held on to. The possession right before this. They played that very well. And Kennedy, I think, should have been more pursuit mode than any.
Well, especially Jefferson was able to get into the bonus. I mean, that really, I think, sealed the deal for them. There's a nice finish. And another intentional foul to stop the clock with 7 even.
Is that a flagrant he just put up? He just put up an X with his arms. Does that mean? Oh, intentional.
Yeah, intentional foul. And so with 7 seconds to go, Jefferson is, of course, now in the double bonus.
It is, yeah. Almost looks like a clear path, maybe some type of flagrant foul.
The officials will talk about it and check in with the scores table as well. Paul Roach getting an explanation from one of the officials. Actually, will be a technical, and Simone Clay at the line will hit the front end of her 2 attempts. And Simone Clay, clutch from the free throw line. And really, this whole Jefferson team here in the second half has been nothing but clutch from the free throw stripe.
Yeah, no struggles from the strike for Jefferson this game, as they have taken full advantage at the free throw line.
In the second half, usually said that the free throw line is where games are won and lost, and well, Jefferson won that battle, and as a result, they were able to keep Kennedy off of their heels, and that will do it. The Jefferson boys beat the Kennedy Eagle boys earlier on the east side of town, and now Jefferson can enjoy a thorough sweep of both boys and girls basketball of the Kennedy Eagles tonight as the girls get the 60-52 win. Final thoughts on this one for either team, Daniel?
Well, you know, Alex, they usually say in sports there's no winning and losing, it's only winning and learning. And I'll persist that as I am on this broadcast. And if I'm Kennedy, I'm looking back at this game. I still put up 52 points, Alex. I did a pretty good job being physical, kicking out open opportunities. You just need to capitalize on those opportunities if you're Kennedy.
Most certainly, and there's definitely a lot more bright spots hopefully to come for Kennedy, and you know, they usually heat up as the season goes along. And whilst the fans file out, so will we. This concludes our broadcast here at Jefferson High School from our entire crew. This is Alex Redding alongside Daniel Trummel saying goodnight from Jefferson High School. Final score, Jag 60, Kennedy 52. Good night, everybody.